Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 24th, 2021. And today, I'm going to hope to finish this third case and then move on to case 4. Probably will record about 7 parts today. In the last episode, I lost my mind because I was operating off of a false assumption. The assumption that I thought that the victim entered into the omnibus way earlier than what was previously anticipated, and I think that was due in part to the testimony between Lady First here and Bruce Fairplay. We also had this animation that you've lovingly been looking at for the last 20 or so seconds as I've been explaining things. It's pretty bad. Probably the wonkiest thing I've ever seen in Ace Attorney in terms of animation. So, let's see how this shakes out. I was falling out of favor with this case when I started getting a lot of things wrong in the previous few parts, and we're gonna see if that turns around. It's a new day. I stopped recording in the middle of the case last time simply because I've been recording for too long and I needed to give my mind some time to relax. So now that it's been about a week, let's see what we got. I think I've already read this, but I'll read it again just in case.
"You rotter," he said. "You rotter! What are you insinuating?"
This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute.
"He'll give you a shiner in a minute," he said, "and so will I."
Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker.
And me, a very angry hatter.
Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest. I protest in the strongest possible terms.
That's right, I protest too, about you, you rotten scoundrel.
4 people on the witness stand.
Order, order, order! This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once.
But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous.
It's very hurtful, you know.
Oh God, I gotta remember what I gave him. I think it's the one that hurts my voice, so. My lord, if I may comment.
Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks.
It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You propose to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. That's what I was thinking, and the only way that hypothesis could possibly stand is if both of them are in on it. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. I almost read that as intimidated, and I was confused. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put this idea forward without any actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. God.
What are we waiting for? Get them to testify.
Oh, man. I gotta remember all these voices again.
I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow.
We have to see this matter through now, one way or another.
If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once.
Oh, they're chanting? Oh, they're still chanting. I like that, actually.
What's happening, Mr. Naruhodo?
The spectators in the public gallery are in a complete frenzy.
Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First?
My lord?
You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense.
Yes, my lord.
I didn't come here for this.
There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keeping pushing forward. All right, that's first typo. First typo that I found is keep pushing forward. I'm sure that this testimony is absolutely going to involve the I don't remember what the hell it's called formally, but where one person says something and another person reacts to it. I think we're going to get much more of that right now. So
we were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I could swear to that.
If anything had happened while we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed?
In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man.
The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it.
If you're so sure that the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith.
That's right, you see.
We're innocent, I tell you.
although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you are in collusion with one another.
What?
That was the wrong voice.
Eh?
According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings.
Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than the stinking rich.
Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy?
Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. This is going to be another one of those press everythings, because I didn't notice anything when I was reading through it the first time.
We were the only...
Oh, God. Wake up. I don't drink coffee in the morning, so my apologies.
We were the only two people up on that roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that.
Hold it! Boom. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck?
Absolutely not. Dickhead.
No question about it, he said. None at all. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both.
Oh, that's a new sprite.
I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here.
Is this true, Mr. McGilden?
Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately.
That's an outright lie. Without doubt, you were engaged in...
Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all?
I missed saying,
It is all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that.
I saw you. I was with my own eyes.
this is going so well. Yeah, it's a he said, she said sort of endeavor we're at here. The thing that I would be interested in, I was trying to look over at, oh God, what's her name? I'll look it up. Sorry.
Objection!
Oops. Well, motherfucker. I accidentally presented a piece of evidence instead of switching over to people. Motherfucker. Well, at least I can check it now. All right. Gina Lestrade. It would be very surprising to me if she says anything about any of the other people's statements, considering that she honestly couldn't have seen anything. She could have only heard things. A little voice crack there too for you. I'm just gonna smash through this and take my penalty for not being awake at 9 a.m. and wanting to record. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and save. Just for you guys, so I don't fucking die. Because I absolutely will if I don't do it right now. Okay. Yeah, we already did the first one. So second one, now we're back on track. Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark. Perhaps too dark to see clearly?
Is this some kind of a lock?
Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is that what it is?
Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly?
Are you fair dinkum, sir?
Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you.
I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could sleep in that bit of cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again.
That's extreme.
It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear ye at all. That's a lie! I saw you through the glass! You were talking to someone! No, it was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. Seeing things? Seeing things?
I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point.
You! Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then it is only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. Hold it!
I mean, they're both acting suspicious, but I don't really have anything yet. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before?
Oh, lum, no. Not once, never.
He'd never met the man before, he said. Never!
And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either.
That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir.
No, I imagine not.
You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the...
Well, no.
Ooh, have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin.
Oh, yes?
Excuse me.
What is it, Mr. McGilded? Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing for you? What can I be doing you for? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection? Is that right now, I wonder?
What are you insinuating now?
Ah, Mr. Fairplay. It has been too long, so it has. If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date.
I beg your pardon?
You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir.
At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion.
Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another. And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head, is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well,
I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as thrice-fired Mason. Ah! There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence before, my lord. Afore, my lord.
Oh, this you mean?
Yeah, that hat.
I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh! That's one of my hats! Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I'd wager, you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. What's new? I arrest my case.
You little weasel.
He's better at this than I am. Kinda is.
Gosh, Mr. McGilded has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Hat Hunter awarded. That's interesting.
Hold it!
Alright, so I'm guessing that was necessary to go forward with things. Are you quite certain about that? The entire skylight was shut the entire time.
I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute.
He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said.
Take a look for yourself. Go on. You see, it shut fast now, just like it was on the night.
Can it be open though?
So it is.
Of course. A fella the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it. Still and all.
What?
Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand.
Ugh. You hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the ting means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we?
Let's stop biting our cane, shall we?
I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind, loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens.
Really? Really? That's where we're going right now?
This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First.
Oh, I just meant to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But, just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as a rouge, I did.
Are you expecting me to sentence you?
Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin of shame.
Oh, really? She does have something to say. Alright.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade.
It opens.
Oh, that's the wrong voice. I actually just spoke without actually thinking about what voice I gave her. Oh my god. Alright.
It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right?
Oh god, not the gun again.
All them skylights open. Dead easy.
More easily than you can load that weapon? So, it's how I was thinking, where it opens from the roof, but it can't open from inside.
That's That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I...
You can't do it from inside, you mug.
Oh! Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags, and I had a great haul. I had bursters coming out my ears.
Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities.
Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All 4 of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through.
What?
Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin.
The skylight opens from the roof?
Bailiff! Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims.
I was gonna say it looked like there was a latch. And so it does. Ah!
Oh, my hat! Huh. See?
Order, order, order! So, it appears that the street girl's statement is quite true. Statement is quite true.
I don't believe it. The skylight opens, and from the roof deck.
Mr. Naruhodo, this could be the clue we've been looking for.
Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Alright, we will do that right now, actually. See if there's anything we had missed. Just go to the roof real quick. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been now that the catch has been undone, we should be able to open it. Oh, there's blood. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see it quite clearly. Oh, we would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Yeah, but it is good for us, because if we go inside now... Yeah, we've already read that. There should be blood up here. Aha! I thought I saw red. Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Narod. Why someone like me?
I don't know.
Ah! What is it? Look, just here. Look at this. I kind of feel like I'm in the midst of a murderer sometimes, too, with how much physical abuse I get and how much she talks about physically hurting me. It's like, I don't know. If you double-cross me, I might just put you in a sleeper hold and then throw you off of a bridge. I don't know. Should probably not fall asleep around me. Susato. That's without question. It's blood. Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? So, the problem I have with it is that blood, or is that part of the fake blood stain that was added after everything? Because that was all added. That was faked. But we, Naruhodo, haven't figured that out yet. I figured it out just by looking at it after, you know, Gina Lestrade caused the commotion in the courtroom. She used the smoke screen to tamper with the evidence so that everything would line up. I'm wondering where the lies lay, though. It's interesting. Maybe we'll get to it in a different case, or maybe we'll get to it right now. Let's find out. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof?
Hold it!
Probably the omnibus itself. Proof.
That's right, I demand to hear it.
We came here to say what we saw. I tell you, not for this.
But you call us both shices, brand us as criminals.
You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment, there's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here.
Ah!
If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. That's fine.
I wonder if these two men really were involved in some way.
I couldn't say. I mean, I really don't know anything about them, do I? Although by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here.
I think we should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial.
Even when it's faked.
Evidence. No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury.
So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence.
Yes, Mr. Naruto, precisely.
So, just gonna go ahead and go to the last statement here, and pretty sure what we need to do is present the omnibus, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and save, just because we've added new information and everything, and I don't want to have to mash through that and then edit it out. Yeah, so present the omnibus.
Objection!
Oh. Good job. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug. Ugh, you can't possibly have any evidence.
No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible.
Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom.
Counsel?
My lord,
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, or else you're going on the naughty list. Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight.
Got it!
By Jupiter! Is that blood? Ugh.
this bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening.
Oh my!
And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime.
Oh! Order!
Hold it!
Ooh, that's a voice.
But the blood could have...
Oh my god, what was that voice?
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin.
And only found its way to that one particular spot in the skylight? Sure, and that would be very convenient.
Ah,
And let's keep in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I?
So, the reason that Mr. McGilded is so absolutely confident right now, he seems so composed and so confident, the plan is working to perfection for him. I'm pretty sure as soon as he found the girl, Gina Lestrade, in the cabin with him, he devised a plan. He's like, I will pay you blah 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 amount of money. That's what you want, right? You need money. I will pay you a large sum of money if you show up to court and help prove my innocence by fabricating evidence. And that's what he did. And I don't know if this is the case for sure, but it could be. This is just a long shot. Maybe he and the Lord Chief Justice Strongheart have something to do with one another. Yeah, this guy, Male Strongheart. That's just a crackpot theory, but he is a very wealthy and influential man. So who knows? Maybe the government is in on trying to get him out of this situation as well.
There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First?
Yeah, that was fabricated, which makes me think that the blood stain up above was also fabricated. Yeah, I think that's 100% fabricated. Just why it's so weird to me.
'Tis all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there, so it is.
What? No!
But it can't be. It's all lies!
I agree with you, actually. My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can. Yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they?
I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it.
Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
I think he might have, actually. I think it's lies.
On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
Oh. Uh-oh.
Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh? And what would ye be referring to there now, Lord Van Zeeks?
A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void.
What? Why?
For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What are you talking about? It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood ever existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began.
But are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was
fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session.
What? I was wondering if anyone would bring it up.
What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However,
it's weird how he phrased that, as the accused. That means that he might have appeared in the past as a jury member or something of the like.
I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the facts? What does that even mean?
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut tut, Lord Van Zeeks, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel?
Huh? Oh, no.
I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if yous will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing?
That's an interesting phrase. I like it.
Isn't that right now, counsel?
No, there is a way. It's true. The omnibus has been in full view of the entire time that the court has been in session.
My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words.
As you wish, and we will hear Ryunosuke's opinion on the matter next time on the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Oh boy. You know, I was lost, and now I'm found. I was in the deep end for a minute with this case. Now I'm back. Just took about a week to get my head in the right headspace, but I'm here now. So next time we will hopefully wrap this case up, and I'm not sure, are we gonna disprove Mr. McGilded's fabrication, or are we going to let it slide and win the case and become a full-fledged lawyer in Great Britain? We'll see. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Feel free to subscribe. That would help me out, get me closer to monetizing some of these videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see